What's going on, everybody? This is the one and only Mr. Amorose is with you. And today, I am joined by Mr. Daniel Banner. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm great. I've just finished the Q&A video that I've done.
Awesome. Groovy.
Sound it'll sound a bit awful because of the technical problems I've had with my camera.
Well, I'm pretty sure at least if we can hear you, I think I'll be well. But anyway, today, me and Mr. Banner here are here to bring you the results from last night's Friday Night Smackdown and kind of give our little review on it. So, without further ado, I'm ready. How about you?
I'm ready, Peachy.
Alright, well, let's get this show on the road. Okay, we started off SmackDown with Alberto Del Rio on the outside of the arena, waiting for the Big Show to get some revenge after what happened this past Monday night on Raw. And while inside the arena, in the ring, we had SmackDown GM Booker T along with a few other individuals, and it was regarding the World Heavyweight title match, since John Cena, who won the Rumble, chose to face the WWE Champion. And then, excuse me one moment, folks. And then, Booker T was announcing a Elimination Chamber #1 contenders like match at the Elimination Chamber to see who would go on to WrestleMania to face the World Champion in the match. And then, much to a lot of people's surprise, we saw the return of Jack Swagger. And he had taken some time off, and he came back because, well, apparently Teddy Long brought him back because of him being a former world champion, just like all the other guys in the ring. And he decided to make one-on-one matches with all the guys to see if they could impress Booker T and Teddy Long, and hopefully to get a spot to compete in the Elimination Chamber. Now, I gotta say, I thought it was a pretty cool little idea. Mr. Banner, what do you think?
Well, the first thing is I wasn't really surprised by Jack Swagger's return. Because he's been kind of a guy who says, "Move over, I'm back. I don't care. I just want my world championship back."
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the big if one superstar had the only superstar that I would be really surprised that came back would be Jeff Hardy if he ever comes back.
Well, I think most people would agree with you, and me included, because I mean, I have to say, I think it would have been kind of cool to see Hardy come back to the WWE, but as as most people might know, he's the current TNA World Champion in TNA, and I don't know if we'll ever see Hardy back in the WWE, but
Yeah,
one can only hope so, right?
I was just watching TNA earlier, and I was at last last week's episode was the wedding, and my surprise is that one of the members was Taz. I mean, he's been an announcer for a couple of years in the TNA, and he just shocking that he revealed himself to be one of the members of Aces and Eights. And then we
True.
had this week. They,
Cat
I
fight.
they always do it. Uh, a couple of new members of Aces and Eight are Kurt Angle's rookies,
hmm
which is
Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I kind of saw a little bit of a spoiler on that on here on YouTube of
I
those two being revealed as being members of Aces and Eights. But
I
yeah, I
was
gotta say, I was definitely kind of shocked to see Taz join the likes of Aces and Eights. And as for why, we still don't know. But like I said, it's definitely kind of a shocker. And
I
even though
mean
he's still a member, he's still doing announcing. So.
I mean it's also shocking that someone said to me, "What if Matt Hardy's a member of this series?" And I said, "No, no way. He's he's already he's already he done a mistake once. He will never do that another mistake again because he already turned bad once."
Sure.
Plus, since Joseph Park is looking for Abyss, what I can understand the tall one with the long hair. I think that's Abyss.
Well, I don't know. I mean, from what I'm hearing, Abyss is actually Joseph Park, the guy that was known to be the guy that was the attorney, but but anyway, we're kind of going off track a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah,
back to
sorry.
but I mean, I do agree. I mean, it has some points, but we're talking about SmackDown, but anywho, back to the thing. It was we saw Dolph Ziggler along with AJ Lee and Biggie Langston out there because like most of the other guys that were in the ring with Booker T and Teddy Long, Ziggler was, even though it was pretty short, but he was also a former world champion, and he was telling Booker T about how he's Mr. Money in the Bank. He's got a guaranteed opportunity at becoming world champion, and then he walked off and all that. And then Booker T announced the first match which was a tag team match between Team Hell No, aka Canyon Daniel Bryan, versus the team of the returning Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. Now, I gotta say, well, what are your thoughts on before we get to the first matchup? But what were your thoughts on the announcement of the Elimination Chamber number one contenders match at Elimination Chamber, Mr. Banner, sir?
Um, well, usually I've seen a lot of elimination chamber matches, and I'm kind of happy that Team Hell No is in elimination chamber. Great Khali and others. I can't really seem to wait really for this elimination chamber match. I can't wait to see how it goes.
Me too. I gotta say, I'm definitely kind of looking forward to seeing how that match would turn out, and so I mean, cause we still don't know exactly as to who um is going to be a part of the elimination chamber, but we kind of could have some ideas, if you will. Okay, so as I mentioned, Team Hell No took on the return of Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara in a tag team match, and Rey and Sin Cara were able to defeat Team Hell No even though it was a non-title match, but uh, those two managed to pull off a heck of a win, and I have to say I think that was a pretty good match to kick off SmackDown. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see Rey Mysterio back, and I'm kind of glad to see see Cars got a new look instead of
True.
going for the red and blue and white and stuff.
True.
And I mean, Team Hell No. I mean, they're kind of still arguing. Because after Royal Rumble when Daniel Bryan,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan eliminated Kane, and then Kane said, "Oh, pay him back by just you know dropping him on the floor."
True. From what I've read, Daniel Bryan eliminated Kane in the Royal Rumble match, and then I don't know if it was shortly after that or sometime a little later on, but uh, Kane caught Daniel Bryan when he was about to be eliminated, and then he put him back on the ring apron or something, and then he uh, and then he pulled Daniel Bryan down, and he got eliminated because of that. And then they had a little fight going on, and uh, then they had some then they had some moments on Raw, and then after Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara won their match against Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan had another little falling apart. But I mean, some people are known to say that these two are the most dysfunctional, but I mean, it is kind of a unique team in my opinion because of the fact that I mean these two hate each other's guts and all that, and now they I mean, sure they might have their moments and whatnot, but I mean they're still champions, and they still also get along and such. So, but I mean, who knows when it comes to what's gonna happen next with Team Hell No. Uh, so again, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, once again, as we mentioned, defeated Team Hell No in a non-title match. Okay. Next up, we had the Great Khali taking on Jinder Mahal. As most people might know, when Jinder came into the WWE, he was known to kind of have a little rivalry, if you will, going on with Great Khali. And at one point, um, the Great Khali was kind of sort of teaming up with Jinder Mahal, even though Great Khali was kind of force-like, if you will.
Sort of blackmail.
But anywho, excuse me?
It was sort of gender blackmailed Kali, saying, "If you don't do this for me, I won't marry." Who knows?
Yeah, that's right, though. Yeah, that was the case, and they ended up kind of going their separate ways, like a little bit. Well, this match kind of came about um, on Raw when Raw had this little Raw roulette thing, and for those who might not have seen Raw this past Monday, it was a Raw roulette thing going on, and during one of the challenges or whatever you want to call it, the Great Khali and Zack Ryder had a little karaoke challenge thing, and then 3MB interrupted them, and Khali and Ryder took it to 3MB, and with Khali being one of the potential members to participate in the Elimination Chamber match, um, this match kind of came about for that too. Now, uh, it was kind of chaotic, like because of how Jinder Mahal and excuse me, because of how Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre were trying to interfere and whatnot. But but that didn't stop the great Khali as he nailed Jinder Mahal with the Punjabi plunge and managed to get the win. Now, I will say that I also did enjoy this too, and I really enjoyed seeing 3MB taken down and whatnot because I mean 3MB in my opinion is the most sorriest excuse for for a group that I've ever seen. I mean the fact that these guys think that they're musicians, come on. Anyhow, what were your thoughts on the match, Daniel?
I probably thought, oh, who would think, 3MB think they think they're, as you mentioned, they think they're a rock band. But as I say, you said they're a sort of excuse for a rock band. I say they're the sort of excuse for working at McDonald's.
Oh yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
go on.
sure, Heath Slater, as we all know, John Cena called him Wendy. And it still does.
True.
You would think he would work at KFC.
Or Wendy's at that.
And Drew McIntyre, you would ever think, why is the guy a Scottish member in the band? They should probably just get William Wallace instead.
True.
And then I'm coming up with a name of 3MB. What is it? Something. 3 mind.
Basically, bottom line,
How about
as
3
far
men?
as well, as far as the 3-man band goes, 3MB, whatever you want to call them, I mean, in my opinion, you and I, Daniel, I think we have more musical talents in our fingers than those guys do in their whole entire bodies. If you ask me, I mean, anything is more better than the likes of 3MB. I mean, I don't know if you've been seeing pics that feature these guys, but um, I've been seeing on different sites and all that.
I wouldn't even
That
dare see him on. I wouldn't dare see him on X Factor or American Idol
true.
or
Well,
American Got Talent.
yeah, talentless. But I remember once seeing on different sites that talking about 3MB and how they were better than any of these small other boy bands or whatever. And I gotta say, in my opinion, I mean, any little boy band or any little small band, whatever it be, I mean, anything is better than the likes of 3MB. I mean, it's just like like I mentioned. I mean, me and Daniel here, we have more musical talent in our fingers than those guys do in their whole entire bodies. I mean, they're just like they couldn't play a jukebox, as JBO once mentioned. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean they couldn't even get, like I mentioned before, Americans Got Talent or X Factor. They would probably just get voted off straight away. And as for their talent in the ring, they probably have the party excuse for wrestling moves than
Well, I will say that. I will say that. I mean, it's just. I'll give them a wee bit of credit because I'm not gonna give them much because of how they are and whatnot. But I mean, they're like really when it comes to in-ring talent. But it's like, I mean, it's just every time you see these guys in a match or just in a little segment or something. I mean, you just wish that something really bad happened to them, like someone just like came out of nowhere and just started beating the living crap out of them and whatnot.
probably if Heath Slater start putting his guitar up, lightning strikes him.
Right, right. Well,
So,
next up we saw uh, Team Rhodes Scholars dissolving their tag team partnership, and then after which Damien Sandow was placed into a one-on-one match with Sheamus. And before we kind of get into that match, I just gotta say, I mean, the whole situation is like involving those guys. I mean, it's just, I mean, it almost just made me like want to throw up. I mean, it's like they were like a Brokeback Mountain kind of moment with those guys. So it's like, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, is that their excuse? You know, saying, "Oh, if we have if we have to go our separate ways to compete in the elimination chamber, so be it." And I feel like that's their excuse because you always know if either Cody Rhodes or Damien Sandow when was in the elimination chamber. Usually,
Uh,
the partner would just come in and interfere just so they can get the win. That's probably their excuse.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, it's like I think the reason why they've dissolved their tag team partnership thing, if you will, is because of the fact that they haven't been able to capture the tag team titles from Team Hell No. I mean, if you remember, I mean, they've had quite a few run-ins with Team Hell No, and every time that the tag team titles were on the line, they'd always come up short. And I think this was the reason as to why Team Rhodes Scholars are going in their singles career separate ways or whatever. What do you think?
But I usually it's a good thing they are dissolving because I'm tired of them. I'm tired of hearing them go on about we're better than Team Hell No, we're you're gonna be the tag team champions. Means we're better than you, we're stronger than you. Girls, I've got a mustache. So what?
Oh. Yeah, every time when someone would crack about Cody Rhodes' mustache, I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, it's I think it was Jerry King Lawler once said or talked about or something. But I mean, if Cody Rhodes has such a problem with his little mustache and people going on about it, I mean, all it takes is just a little bitty shave of the stash, and you'll have one less thing to worry about. But
Or how about if you get a handful of nuts, toss them in his mustache will just flop them.
that is a good one, Mr. Danielson. Well, as I mentioned, Sheamus went 1-on-1 with Damien Sandow, and unfortunately, um, the match. Well, unfortunately, the match was ended in disqualification. I
But
mean, Sheamus won because of the disqualification, but it was due to the Shield attacking Sheamus once again, and
yeah. Before we
I,
go
I
on,
st- go on.
sorry, why do we talk about Shield? Because everyone is always thinking, why are they attacking and just random people? Why are they just they were they attacked Tommy Dreamer after he returned. He was gonna
Mhm.
they attacked Ric Flair,
Mhm.
and they attack anyone. They attacked John Cena last week in Raw.
True.
I mean,
I mean,
what's
I guess. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand these guys. I mean, they say that they're bringing justice back to where injustice is being held, or something like that. I mean, but in my opinion, when it comes to these guys, I mean, they're just nothing but a bunch of cowards who uh just always want to just attack people from behind and just like and just do it for no reason. I mean, they say that they say that the reason why they do what they do is because of injustice. But I mean, that's about that's I. But when it comes to that, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that's a bunch of bull. I mean, they're just a bunch of cowards just coming out from the crowd and just trying to attack people at random. I mean, they've had one match thus far in their actual career, and yet they're going around and just randomly attacking people for reasons unbeknownst to any of us. I mean, it's just I I just don't see why the Shield is even really existing. I mean, I just in my opinion, I wish that all of Raw and all of SmackDown would just put an end to the Shield because I mean they're just I mean ugh, it's just I can't it's just irritating to see these guys. I mean they're cowards coming out from nowhere, attacking random people for no reason, and I don't know. I mean it's just I wish someone would put an end to these guys. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I if I honestly, in my opinion, if I was in WWE, I would honestly get my team together. Keep living hell out of Team Hell No.
You mean the Shield?
Shield, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I get it confused.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, it's just, it's become so predictable with these guys that like each and every time they're always known to just come out of nowhere and attack random people for the hell of it, no reason, and whatnot, and I mean, it's just, ugh. Anyway, let's forget about them and let's go on to the next thing.
Alright.
I almost lost my breath there. Anywho, next up we saw Randy Orton taking on Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett. Now, this week has kind of not been going so well for Mr. Barrett and it started at the Royal Rumble match where Wade was eliminated by up and coming NXT superstar by the name of Bo Dallas. And then Monday on Raw, it was a player's choice match where Barrett could choose his opponent, and he chose Bo Dallas. And Bo managed to get an upset victory over Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett was kind of hoping to kind of get back on track, if you will, to hopefully getting some wins and making the Barrett barrage, rage on. But excuse me, unfortunately, this week it did not happen for him as well, because Randy Orton managed to pick up the win over Barrett with an RKO, and I thought this match was also pretty good. I mean, I wish it would kind of could have gone on a little bit longer, but I will say that I thought it was okay. What do you think?
I thought it was okay, but I've been watching WWE in boxing. Wade Barrett says, he's had no interest in what people ask him. He thinks, that he's better than us. And pretty much he
Indeed.
he still has that Intercontinental Championship. I wish someone would really take it away. And
Yeah.
he's always been complaining after getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
He's got a real attitude. Still has, really, since his NXT days.
Indeed. I mean, yeah, that is a good point. I mean, whenever I had kind of read about Bo Dallas eliminating Wade Barrett, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Maven eliminating The Undertaker a long ago, and it was like a different kind of a surprising thing to see and whatnot. But I mean, it's apparently um, Wade Barrett is kind of have apparently he has Bo Dallas on the mind, and I guess it must. I guess it kind of still had this here a bit, but um, like I said, I mean it's so. But when it comes to this match, I thought it was pretty good, and I just wish it kind of gone. I just wish that it would have gone on a little longer. Next up, we had Jack Swagger in his first match since returning, as he took on Kofi Kingston, and uh, Swagger managed to pick up the win via submission, thanks to the ankle lock on Kofi Kingston. Now, I will say that I am not a big Swagger fan. I mean, I know that some people might be, but I'm not one of those people. But I will say that Swagger had a heck of a showing. I mean, Brandon took some time off, and when I guess that time off kind of rejuvenated him a little bit, and he kind of came back a little bit a little bit more aggressive and such, and he managed to make himself known when it came to being perhaps being a part of the Elimination Chamber match. So, um, what were your thoughts on this match, Mr. DB?
I, I thought it could have gone longer as well, and but it kind of got a little boring after, because I'm not a Jack Swagger fan either. That's how I have to say it.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that is okie dokies. And next up, we saw a parking lot brawl, if you will, between Alberto Del Rio and the Big Show. Um, we saw Big Show arriving in. Well, apparently, it was his big old tour bus, and knowing how he is, I'm not really surprised that he had a big tour bus. I mean, I kind of would too, especially if I was a big tall guy like him. And the obviously we saw Big Show. We found out that apparently he knew about Del Rio lurking about in the parking lot because he was looking all over the place and whatnot. And Del Rio managed to kind of get a little bit of retribution, like if you will, on Big Show for what he did on Raw to Ricardo Rodriguez. And let's see. Oh yeah, and I will say that I don't blame Del Rio for what he did. I mean, I don't blame the fact that he had a little grudge on Big Show for what he did to Ricardo on Raw. I don't blame the fact that he had like a little pipe thing in his hand and he was just wanting to just wail the crap out of Big Show, even though he managed to get some blows in, but with his fist and whatnot. And then we saw Big Show get into someone's car. No idea who it was, but we saw Big Show get into another car and he took off. So, um, what were your thoughts on this little parking lot brawl?
Well, it sort of looked like that Big Show, saying, "Yeah, come on, man, I haven't even got in the building yet. Why are you attacking me?" And
Well,
I understand why Alberto is attacking him because I agree with you. But you're saying that Ricardo Rodriguez got knocked out by the Big Show,
mm-hmm.
and Alberto wanted to get revenge.
Of course. Cause these two guys are really, cause Ricardo and Rio are really good friends, and I mean, besides the fact that Ricardo Rodriguez is their real little personal announcer, but I mean, they're good friends, and you know, you hate to see your friends being attacked like that and such. I mean, and as mentioned, you know, it's no surprise. I mean, I don't blame the Rio for uh, attacking Big Show when he did in the parking lot and whatnot. I mean, you know, that's how it was.
Well, sometimes, back in these heel days, when it was bad and stuff, usually Alberto just uses uses Rodriguez as a like a scapegoat or something, and
True.
make sure it doesn't get hurt himself. But she's changing a new leaf, and they become good friends, and as you mentioned.
Indeed. That is, that is a fact. Finally, in the main event, we saw an irate Alberto Del Rio take on Dolph Ziggler, and um, this match was announced at the start of the show when Booker T, Teddy Long, and the guys that were in the ring. That's when Booker T made this match, and there and Del Rio managed to uh, pick up the win on Dolph Ziggler, even despite the interference from Big E Langston and AJ Lee. And then after which we saw Big Show get his post-match revenge, if you will, but it was not on Del Rio, it was on Ricardo Rodriguez. And um, as for the Ziggler Del Rio match, I thought it was a pretty good match in my opinion. Wish it gone on a little bit longer, but I mean I'm not, but it wasn't bad in my view. And as for um, the whole situation of Big Show attacking the Ricardo Rodriguez again, despite the fact that Ricardo had injured neck or whatnot. I mean, to me that's just uncalled for. But I mean, but what are your thoughts on the match and the assault, Mr. Banner?
Well, Big Show had no right to do that to Rodriguez after injuring him on Raw. I mean, he
Indeed.
doesn't need to be injured. He doesn't need to be injured a lot. I mean, you know,
Indeed.
yeah, he's got sent to hospital now. But I think probably Alberto Del Rio want more revenge on what he did. But the man,
I'm pretty sure he would too. I mean, there's no surprise if that would be the case. I mean, the fact that he once again attacked Ricardo Rodriguez. I mean, he's definitely going to be furious, if you will. I
uh,
mean, go on.
no, you go on. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say that people were talking about the whole situation of why Big Show went after Rodriguez was because of what happened at the Royal Rumble when Ricardo Rodriguez was duct taping uh, Big Show's feet to the ropes and made it to where Big Show could not uh, get up for the count of 10. Now, some people will argue about how, you know, that's like taking the sleazy way out, and I would kind of agree, but I mean, but you gotta understand though, and I mean, it was this last man standing match was a no disqualification match, and anything can happen, and people were able to interfere, if you will, and and the match would not stop, it would continue. I mean, you gotta kind of play. you kind of have to think smart, if you will, when it comes to fighting the Big Show, especially when it comes to a last man standing match. But I mean, that's apparently the reason why people were saying that Big Show went after Rodriguez. But I mean, like I said, it was no disqualification match. Anything could happen, and I mean, just there- but there's still the reason why. I mean, if you want to have some revenge, go after someone who's a wrestler. Like instead of taking Rodriguez, why don't you go after Big Show and get your revenge on that? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if if he did that to my friend, one of my friends, I would have revenge. Oh. Uh, but I think I think SmackDown kind of got a little boring. Not as interesting as the others, in my opinion.
Well, I will say that I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was the best SmackDown of that night, but I thought it was pretty good. It just could have made it a little bit more better, but and stuff. But this is our thoughts on SmackDown. You have your thoughts, and I have mine, and everyone else has theirs. But I thought SmackDown was okay, not too bad, if you will. Whew. Well, that does it for this live stream edition of the results and our review for SmackDown. I hope you have enjoyed it. And before we go, Mr. Banner, do you want to say anything or whatever, plug anything or something?
Yeah, the Q&A video that I did, I believe I answered some of your questions, and the sound quality on it is not that good because my webcam stuff, but I hope I've done it done enough to answer your questions or anyone else's questions. If you want to ask me more questions, leave a comment down in the video that I posted up, or you can post some more questions down here. And
Indeed.
check out Mr. Romero Rose's channel, Romero Rose Network, and check out my channel, or the other guy's channel, whatever.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Flame Dad One.
well, yeah, I
And
mean, yeah.
more of my videos will be coming up soon.
Cool.
And I hope Mr. Romero Rose will be uploading some more Romero Rose videos and possibly some WWE videos.
Well, now that you mentioned it, Mr. Banner, I do have some ideas of Rumble stuff. It's just I'm kind of trying to figure out like as to what I haven't uploaded yet, but I will be uploading some more Rumble Rose stuff, and I also have some tribute videos from WWE that I'm going to be uploading too, and I'm also going to be doing more Duke Nukem. I'm going to be doing some more Duke Nukem 3D gameplay videos and such, and I'm going to be probably sometime later on or tomorrow maybe. I don't know when, but I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing this. Checking out this level called Faces of Death, and kind of taking y'all on a little tour like stuff of that, if you will, and such. So, anywho, this is Mr. Rumble Roses and and thanks for joining me, Mr. Banner, and we are signing out. Have a good day, folks.
See ya.